that is unnatural, that is losing your human dignity, that is using people for your own satisfaction. So, compensation, ships, prisons, what is it? What was the last one? Armies, yeah. Secondly, a need of change and a need of experience and variety, sometimes in some cultures. And then also in those days, part of pagan cults. Pagan cults. They want union with the God, but the God is expressed in this person. Or they want contact with this goddess, and this goddess is represented by this female. They have contact with the person in these pagan cults to have union with God, with the God who is supposed to be present, to have communion with him or her through this person. So there was also a lot of homosexual activities or actions by people who are heteros, but who want to live their union with this God of these goddesses. Now this unnatural behavior is condemned by the Bible. And rightly so. It's unnatural. Because these people are not homosexual. Now the church, of course, has taken over this biblical view. What could the church do? You know, to read what is in the Word of God, what is in the Bible. And that's why the church condemned also homosexual behavior in the same time. Only later, following, the church is not always stupid, they follow the sciences and the discoveries by psychology, psychiatry and sociology. So now the church has discovered that there are people who are gay or lesbian. So now, before it was all about, so to say, now they see, oh, there are different people, there are majority is hetero, but a good number. We cannot apply exactly what in the Bible, but now we know these people exist and that they are different. So now, what are the churches doing? Most Protestant churches see the homosexual orientation as an evil. Due to the power of evil or the origin of sin, man is corrupt. And one of the tokens, the signs, the expressions of that we are corrupt is that some people are homosexual. So, that is the view of most, I think, Protestant churches. So they don't want these people to be freed, to be liberated, bring contact with Christ, so that you get rid of this evil thing and become, as you should be, you change into being heterosexual. Because homosexual activities are always evil. That's the fruit of your being this, it is an evil thing. The Catholic Church is different in this sense only, that they declare the homosexual orientation an objective disorder. Objective disorder, disorientation. I know my Catholic teaching, don't worry. Objective means natural. Objective means not subjective, not your opinion or your view of your feeling. Objective means by nature. It's given in nature of sexuality that human sexuality should be oriented as lived as man and woman complementing one another. That shows your genitalia, that shows your body parts, that you are meant for one another, that you are complementing one another. Your own nature shows this, and this should only be done with open possibility for new life. If not, it is disorder. It is not in the right order. It's not as God has wanted it. It's not as it is given to us in our sexuality. our sexuality as human sexuality, as a task, is to see how it is wanted by God. Then we have to read our human nature, and we see that it is meant as a complementary as for men and women. And in love, only in marital love, because it is an total expression of yourself to one another, should only be among those who really belong to one another, who are united to one another in marriage. If not, everything is disorder. Not only homosexuality. Don't think that Catholic Church is only telling you this objective disorder is everywhere, so to say. Everywhere, but people do not respect the right purpose of human sexuality. If it is masturbation, it's wrong. If it is fornication, it's wrong. If it is adultery, it's wrong. Disorder. Everything is disorder, because the right order is only in marriage. That is the teaching of the Catholic Church. Okay. I am a Catholic priest. I do not agree. Or rather, I understand that the Church is behind the times. But I have to accept that. Being a priest, I cannot tell or preach or teach something different. But I can express my hope. Nobody can forbid me, the Pope cannot forbid me to hope that the Church can change and will change. Am I allowed to hope, please? So I hope very much that my church will change, and has changed very often. Because you have also wrong impression sometimes of the Catholic Church that nothing can change. It's rubbish. All the churches have changed their teaching on slavery. Slavery in the Bible, slavery is accepted. I'm very sorry. Paul says slaves should honor your master, no problem about that. It was an accepted cultural, economic situation. Only later the Christians discovered that slavery is injustice, slavery is a sin. So the church has changed. For many, many centuries, Christians were not allowed to make money by lending money to people and get interest. Christian Catholics and Protestants were not allowed, only the Jews. That's why the Jews got rich. They were the money lenders. They made a lot of money because the Catholics throughout the Middle Ages were not, and they need money, you know. They need money to start business and to start other things, and they could not borrow it from fellow Christians because they were not allowed to lend it to you without interest. Only without interest. Yeah, come on, man. Nobody will do that. I rather use it myself. I can use it myself, invest it somewhere, you know. Why should I give it to you that you invest it? Ah. Only the Jews gave money to get money, to make interest, because they were not to listen to the teaching of the church. Anyhow, as you know, teaching of the church has changed. Now a lot of Christians make money by lending money, and rightly so, and get it back with some interest. But it should not be, of course, loan sharks, not that kind of thing, but a normal, reasonable interest. For a long time, the church had been preaching, outside the church, no salvation. You know that? You know what? The church had been preaching, outside the church, no salvation. So Muslims and Jews and all the Chinese and Japanese and Africans, all those who were not baptized, no salvation. They'll go to hell. Teaching of the church, I can tell you. But don't think that we teach that now. The official